Hey, this is Mickey. I'm excited to tell you about a new enhancement here to Stoneapp for the fall 2022 year. This is an enhancement to expand the functionality of a remake phase. So when you unfortunately have a remake and you would add a phase for that. So we'll pretend this is the kitchen remake. You would indicate, hard surface, solid surface, or whatever other production types you have. But you'll notice now that you have this remake box, service box, and whether or not it's billable. If it's billable, I wouldn't tend to do remake. I mean, I guess it would be remake if it was the customer's fault for some reason, but that's probably few and far between. Nevertheless, that availability is here. You can also indicate here whether or not it requires a layout for this remake phase. So in this case, we're going to just say it's a remake and it happened from the original phase, and we are selecting that it's, I don't know, material broke in this case, and it happened during the installation. And then you can even indicate which customer, or sorry, which employee caused that particular error for tracking purposes. If you have to give the customer a refund, you could put that here. Let's say we're not going to do that in this case. We're just going to have a labor cost. Normally, I'd recommend keeping the labor cost pretty straightforward. I don't know my square feet yet, so I'm going to come back to this and add that in here later. So at this point, I'm going to save that function, or save that remake. And now we have our remake here. While we're still in phase one, I'm going to jump over to the job. I'm going to go to the part layout, and here we have our kitchen. And if we had other areas, we could select that from there. But here we have our kitchen, and let's just say it is this part one here. So I'm going to select part one. I'm going to copy that part, and it's going to create a new part for us here called part four with the same information. If that was only part of this, it had a seam and you're only making one half, you could adjust your size as needed here. So I'm going to hit save, and once saved, we'll close out. We'll go over to edit the phase for this. So now I'm going to come down to my part four, and I'm going to move that phase into my remake. So now we know that it's 19.86. So we'll call that 20 square feet. And if I go into then back into the remake phase, I can adjust this. Here's our 19.86. I will be precise with it. So 19.86, I usually try to do something simple and just have it like times say $20 a square foot plus $100 for a trip. So that's going to be $397, $497.20. Because let's say that we have, obviously the templater was able to get us, the installer was able to tell us exactly what changes were needed, and we don't need to go retemplate. So there's only one trip at this point. So there's our labor cost. If and when we pull in material, not if, but when we pull material and assign materials into the remake phase, the system would automatically pull that material cost into the reporting. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure that out. If it's a remnant and it's got zero value, it'll pull $0 amount. If you're ordering material, if it's a full slab and it's still got a value to it, it'll pull that full slab in. Or if it's priced by square foot, it'll pull in the square footage of that. Okay, so next we're going to go, so that remake is finished. You're ready to work your activities and run it through production and get it installed. So next what we'll do is we see this as project 1008, and we'll head over to the project dashboard under dashboard to take a look at that report. So we're here on dashboard, we click on report, and we have our remake report. And then you can adjust the dates as needed. But here is our project 1008, and it's showing us the square feet involved. It's showing us material costs. Of course, we haven't assigned any material yet. It's showing us labor costs, refund, and total costs. And it's also putting in, the reason and the error origination, and then we'll add that other field for the resource as well. So you can export that, and you can start looking at your trends and addressing the issue as a prevention instead of putting out the fire after the fact. So that's how Stoneapp handles remakes.